In what could be good news for former head of civil service Ambassador Francis Muthaura, the ICC prosecutor acknowledges that there could be flaws in the case facing him and says is not opposed to the case being referred back to the pretrial chamber to decide whether Muthaura should actually stand trial. The prosecution states that a witness no longer relied upon by the prosecution was essential on the issue of Muthaura's criminal responsibility and in fact was the only direct witness against him. A similar application by Uhuru Kenyatta, however, was denied. During the status conference 12 days ago, the defense team of all the 4 Kenyan suspects pleaded with the court to postpone the commencement date of the trials, claiming that the prosecution had frustrated them with regards to disclosure of witnesses and evidence and were therefore not prepared.
It doesn't give me any great pleasure to seek to delay a trial date, but I am advising the court that in these circumstances it is so extreme that I have to.
In her submission to the court in response to the request by the defense teams, ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda said that though prosecution had complied with the set deadlines in disclosing evidence to the defense teams, she said she would not object to that plea. During the status conference, the defense had been asked to estimate how much time it needed in order to adequately prepare for the trials.
Can you suggest approximately how much time you need?
We would request for a period of up to 4 months from the last date of a definite disclosure on the part of the prosecution.
The prosecution recommends that the chamber fixes a new date now to provide more certainty for the parties and victims. Bensouda argues that it is important for the Kenyan public, particularly the victims of the 2007-2008 post-election violence, to be assured that the trial will in fact commence in the coming months. In that regard, the prosecution is suggesting an August 2013 start date or even earlier. Bensouda's office is satisfied that by then, the defense teams will have been adequately prepared to face the trials. More importantly for the prosecution, though, is that it expects protective measures for the delayed disclosure witnesses to be finalized in the coming weeks, such that full disclosure can take place. Bensouda admits that the identities of 5 witnesses have remained undisclosed, but explains that it was for reasons outside the prosecution's control. She, however, defended her office of claims by the defense that it had altered the case altogether.
The case is shifting and changing.
The way the prosecution have conducted this case is to have one case as a decoy, where all the defense attention is on another date, based upon another witness, and on the eve of trial, 2 months before the trial, hey presto, like a rabbit out of the hat, they come up with new allegations that simply have not been investigated.
Bensouda reiterates that neither the crimes charged nor their temporal or territorial scope has changed. Bensouda has argued that the prosecution was so far frustrated by what she termed as lack of cooperation from the Kenyan government side. The trials were initially planned to start on April 10th and 11th. The trial chamber is now set to rule in the coming days on both the request by the defense and the concurrence by the prosecution on the trial dates, which are now likely to change. Sylvia Chebet, Citizen Live at 9.